We gotta do the work to get to it. Part of that work involves us getting back down to reconciling the little boy that lives in all of us as men. It also it also involves us to reevaluate who and what we who and what we're connected to. It also involves us to understand and reevaluate, understand why we're disconnected from ourselves. What incident or what problem, what tragedy or what trauma forced us to disconnect from ourselves to where we had to reconnect to another aspect of us that that really isn't who we are. Why do we wander and wonder? Why do we wander aimlessly, trying to find something trying to find something to connect to or find someone to connect to? Why do we wonder if if what we do why we wonder if what we do is ever going to be good enough, and if it's not good enough, we disconnect ourselves from and if it's not good enough, we disconnect ourselves from that. What are the causes of the disconnection? Why are we disconnected? How can we analyze how can we analyze, assess, and approach that disconnection? And how can we repair it? If we're able to repair it. And if we're not able to repair it, are we going to be okay with are we going to be okay with letting go? A lot of times us as men, we a lot of times us as people, as human beings, not just men and women, a lot of times us as human beings, we stay connected to things that hurt us. We stay connected to things that continuously hurt us, that continuously bring us pain, displeasure, despondency, those things. So once we look at the disconnection and we've assessed it, we've analyzed it, and we've determined an approach for repair, and we do try to repair it, and it's irreparable. Are we okay with letting go? Are we going to be okay with just simply letting go? The larger question I want to ask, brothers, is this, gentlemen, and again, this is a question I asked myself. I asked earlier in the stream: do you have to remain connected to who you were to be who you are? I think that's a question I think all of us as brothers need to ask ourselves, and we really need to just really need to do a deep dive into ourselves and really answer that question. Really honestly answer that question.